Me watching this movie, like, the whole time, I was just thinking to myself, Robin Hood Men in Tights is a better movie than this movie I'm watching right now. Robin Hood. So I guess Universal, I don't even know what studio it was, a big budget studio was like, hey, let's reboot Robin Hood, let's give him his own franchise, let's get Taron Egerton to come in as be Robin Hood. That all sounds actually like a good idea. Robin Hood, if you ever know the tale, he's just a guy who comes in, he steals from the rich and gives to the poor. That's the famous line, famous story from Robin Hood, and we get it again in 2018, and then we got a brand new version of him. It's more updated, it's more ridiculous. And just, this movie overall is a mess. But it's a fun mess. I had a lot of fun with it in a very bad way. I'm gonna get this clear right now. This movie is not great. I personally think it is a bad movie. If someone said, is it a bad movie? I'm like, yeah. But I was entertained at the beginning to end. Okay, so I'll start with the positive. First things first, the movie looks fine. It's a first-time director who did some TV show episodes of, I forget the name, but he did a pilot of a famous show that I watched. Either way, the directing is fine. I mean, there's some cool shots. The movie looks good. The sound design is there. The music is really good until, you know, it's copied from Hans Zimmer from Batman Begins, because there's a certain scene in the towards the end, it literally sounds like Hans Zimmer from Batman Begins, because this movie is Batman Begins. This movie is a flipping copycat ripoff of Batman Begins, and I'm not kidding you. If you see this movie, and you've seen Batman Begins, please tell me this movie is not watching that movie and making it into Robin Hood. This movie is Batman Begins. But anyway, the movie, I mean, overall, the movie looks good. I mean, it sounds good. I mean, the action scenes, there are some ridiculous, big old CGI action scenes, but it was fun to watch. It's like Transformers. Transformers 2 is a terrible movie, but I can't deny I like watching explosions happen, people jumping around and all that kind of stuff. This movie has that, and that's exactly how I felt watching this. It was cool to see. Sometimes the slow-mo was a little annoying, and the CGI looked bad sometimes, because aiming with the bow and arrow, this movie just threw that out the window. If you shot a bow and arrow, if it was Taron Egerton shoot an arrow, he was going to hit the target pretty much. In the beginning he doesn't, but when he gets trained by Jimmy Fox, then he does. Which is totally Batman Begins, just me saying that. This movie is Batman Begins. But another thing is, Taron Egerton, I like him, and he brings his charm to this role. I liked him as Robin Hood. If they did a sequel, which I don't think they are, but if they did, I liked him as Robin Hood. He was fine. He brought his Taron Egerton charm to it. I actually like Jamie Foxx, and they did not use him nearly as much as they could have. They could have used him so much more, and he was doing, actually, I think he was doing the best performance in this movie. Him and Taron Egerton's chemistry in the beginning was actually good chemistry. I liked the training stuff. I actually enjoyed their back to forth, but then after that happens, the movie just falls apart. It just doesn't keep you intrigued. It doesn't have that great story and characters and all that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, the 2010 Russell Crowe, Ridley Scott Robin Hood, that movie is boring as heck, but it's got good characters and great scope action scenes. This movie just has a buttload of CGI and a buttload of action and a buttload of stuff. And poor Jamie Dornan, the guy from 50 Shades, who I've always said is a good actor. He is a good actor. He was just stuck in the 50 Shades contract. He had to do all three of those movies. In this movie, he's really good until the third act. The third act, they were like, let's just make him a terrible, I feel so bad for him. He is a good actor. And my God, the one who stole the whole movie. I'm surprising I'm saying this. Ben Mendelsohn has been a bad guy in, the past 4 movies he's been in. Ready Player One, he was a bad guy. Rogue One, and this one, he was a bad guy again. He's the sheriff of the town. And they were like, alright, you're Ben Mendelsohn, you've been a villain, and every villain you've been very cautious and very devil and all that stuff. Let's just go for it. Let's just give you what you want and become a villain. Ben Mendelsohn turns in one of the best comedic performances I've ever watched, and it's supposed to be serious. It's one of those situations where it's bad deep down, but I'm enjoying it. He has a flip out scene in this movie where he is yelling, and it killed me. I was laughing, and it's supposed to be a very intense scene. It just caught me off guard, and it was hilarious. His performance is over the top, and it is ridiculous and great at the same time. But overall, this movie, I don't even know if I don't know if the movie knows what it is. This movie, I don't understand how this got made though. I mean, it's like $100 million budget movie. It's not gonna make that back. I mean, if it does, I'll be shocked. But overall, the movie is a big mess. But I enjoyed it because just action, Taron Egerton, Jamie Foxx, Ben Mendelsohn giving a great performance, and Jamie Dornan was actually good until the end. And the third act is a huge CGI big old fest, and then it gets like, hey, we're gonna make a sequel one day, hopefully, come see our movie. I don't see us making a sequel. I'm gonna give Robin Hood, the 2018 version, a big old D+. This movie is just a big old mess, but then again, it's fun. It's fun to watch, but it's overall, I mean, it's bad. It's a bad movie. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.